What does Chronos coming to Switch 2 actually mean? Chronos release date was announced a few days ago, dropping on September 5th, and it's surprisingly coming to the Switch 2 on the same day as all the other platforms. But I think there's a lot more behind the Bloober team bringing this game to Switch 2 day and date than most people might think.
And as they do, chaos looms through the wounds in reality.
Bloober is a Polish development team who have been making Kronos for over 4 years now, so having them announce and confirm a Switch 2 version coming the same day lets me know that they must have been one of the first people to get dev kits. Very good on Nintendo for scouting out great third-party talent to support from jump, but I will say that it is a bit surprising since they are a more moderately sized team of around 250 people. For reference, that's about 100 more than, say, Monolith Soft, for example, who have around 140 people, but only half as much as a team like CDPR, who have around 500. So they don't have the largest team imaginable, but the size is pretty decent, and they still seemingly were able to get a Switch 2 dev kit pretty early on. So naturally, my next question for a game like Kronos is how long did it take them to create the Switch 2 version of the game during mid-development? All right, it's kind of hard to say exactly when they got dev kits, but I think that we can at least narrow it down a little bit, right? We spoke about another Polish development team earlier, CDPR, and what we definitely know from them is that they were approached by Nintendo in regards to the Switch 2 and bringing games over to that platform around summer of 2023. Dev kits came out a little bit later, but given the fact that Cyberpunk was a launch day title, I think we can assume that at least 6 months after their initial contact is when they were receiving them. With that, I'm going to honestly assume that Nintendo was speaking to both Polish development teams around the same time, both CDPR and Bloober, about bringing their titles and projects over to the console. And I think that's what gave them enough time to have those games ready either on launch day for Switch 2 or a same day release as the other platforms. Honestly, I'd say that they were able to get a Switch 2 version of Kronos ready within that window of just over a year and a half or so, which is really good news when it comes to third-party current gen titles coming over to Switch 2. Kronos runs on Unreal Engine 5, which is obviously becoming a more common engine to use for current gen games. It's a very demanding engine. Games on it look great, but more importantly, we're seeing them show up on the Switch 2 alongside all the other platforms. And this is kind of what I've been saying in a lot of my previous uploads before the system came out. More third-party current gen games will be coming. Maybe not every single last one that gets announced, but a very healthy amount of them. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I wanted to see amazing first-party lineups all throughout the year and very unique, interesting third-party games being sprinkled out in between these releases. That's going to lead to more variety for us Switch gamers and Nintendo gamers to play these types of games on our preferred system, so that there's no droughts, there's always something to play. And if you're willing to open your mind to anything that's not, Nintendo, you can find great third-party titles in between the major releases. This is something that should not go over your head. This is a direction that I have been waiting for Nintendo to finally be in since the Wii. This version of the game, Kronos, is on a game keycard for Switch 2, and I know how a lot of people might feel about that. But we got to be honest, guys. Nintendo fans are very quick to dismiss games that are not first party, which in turn leads us to not always be priority for these third-party games in the first place, right? If game keycards are removing barriers that prevent these games from coming over to the platform, I don't think I mind that very much. And I'll be supporting the games that are made with care and effort because I want to play good games on this console at the end of the day, period, right? This is an original IP by Bloober. And I think as long as it's a solid port, which is so far looking like it is, I'm going to support it. And I honestly think y'all should too, give it a shot, give it a try. It's $60, same price as everything else, but not 70, not 80, a modest $60 for what looks like a really good Dead Space / Resident Evil mashup, sci-fi survival horror. It looks very, very solid. So take a look, try it out. If you're looking for something new to play on the console, let me know what you guys think about Kronos in general and how you feel about the Switch 2 version getting announced today and date, and what that might mean for the future of other third-party games coming over to the platform. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.
My work is endless. My failures are numerous. I managed to set up an Arc-class outpost, but I still can't produce enough power to carry out my plan. Every time I manage to weld something else rips. Yet, I must try. If I succeed, I might be able to stop the anomaly's negative impact on the surrounding area. Only then will I be able to deliver the long-acquired essence to the terminal. Such is our call-up.